All right, boys, there's no time to explain. I'm gonna need everyone who watches this video to like, comment, and subscribe, or I'm gonna come kick your grandma in the ovaries. All right, let's do this. Bye. Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Clay here, and today we're gonna be watching a video by Blackie Speaks on why David hasn't been arrested yet. And for those of you who don't know, this is that man, grown man, who was in a relationship with a underage girl, and then recently her body has been found inside of his Tesla. And the situation is just wild. No matter how you look at the situation, even if he didn't kill her, congratulations, you didn't kill her. You are not a murderer, but you're a pedophile. Because it's like the situation is just bad. So we're finna learn out why hasn't this man been arrested yet? Because I think he should be arrested by now.
We've learned that. Now, updates keep pouring in about the David story, spelled d4vd, and so far we've learned that Celeste Rivas, a teenage girl, was found in the front trunk of an impounded Tesla registered to him. Within 48 hours, LAPD searched the Hollywood Hills home David was staying at and seized multiple devices. And now the internet's been asking a lot of questions, but the biggest one is, why hasn't David been arrested yet? And why
Blue, do you have to go outside?
Is this process taking so long? I'm locked into finding out the truth about this case, and I'll be keeping you updated every step of the way. So let's break this one down together.
Yeah, it is crazy why this process is taking so long, because honestly, I just feel like there's a lot of evidence pointing towards a certain answer, and it's just not looking good.
By now, you've probably seen the headlines. Celeste Rivas, a teenage girl, was identified after her remains were found in the front trunk of a Tesla registered to popular singer David. The car had been towed to a Hollywood impound, and that's when staff noticed a foul odor, opened the front trunk, and made the discovery. Since then, detectives executed a search warrant at a Hollywood Hills home where he'd been staying at and seized electronics. Popular brands who partner with David, like Hollister, for campaigns, pulled back, and his world tour was also put on pause. And famous celebrities like Canadian singer Tate McRae distanced herself, along with singer Kali Uchis. So let's get into it.
Yeah, I would too, because this is wild. No matter how you look at this situation, it's not good on his part. Again, even if he didn't kill her, your reputation is not good, bro.
Why hasn't David been arrested yet? And what's actually happening behind the scenes? Let me walk you through this step by step. Here's what we know so far. According to the authorities, the Tesla was registered to David Burke, which is David's real name. The body inside was severely decomposed to the point where it's been difficult for the medical examiners to determine exactly what happened or how she died. Police also stated that the body had been in that Tesla for an extended period of time, though they did not specify exactly how long. In connection with this, we also know that the Tesla was towed to Hollywood Tow after it was reported abandoned. According to NBC Los Angeles, neighbors said the car had been parked there for more than a month before it was finally taken away. That explains why the smell was so overwhelming. When a body decomposes in a closed space like a car, gases build up and the odor is impossible to ignore. Believe it or not, that's actually one of the most common ways police discover remains in cases like this.
Bro, that's actually true. I watch a lot of those cop things, like from a policeman or Safety Midwest or something like that. I believe that's what the channel's called. And yeah, on those channels, you'd be hearing a lot of cases of people getting found in trunks. It's absolutely horrendous. I just don't understand what would make someone do this to a kid, bro. What is wrong with people?
We also know that Celeste Rivas was 14 at the time of her death. She would have turned 15 on September 7, 2025, but her body was found September 8. That means that it was confirmed she died at 14, not 15. And just
so she's been to
clear something up, early on, the medical examiner's office listed her as 15, and that's what I was going off of in my initial coverage. In reality, that detail was off, so my apologies for repeating it before the correction came out. And shout out to everyone who caught that and corrected me. We keep each other accountable on here, and that's how it should be. Now, the medical examiner office also confirmed how she was found. Celeste was wearing a tube top and small black leggings. She was described as having wavy black hair with a metal stud earring and a yellow metal chain bracelet. Something else I want to share with you is this. Even though the cause of death hasn't been released or determined yet because of the condition of the remains, one outlet, the Los Angeles Times, has reported that the authorities are treating it as a homicide. Now, to be clear, investigators still don't know who's responsible, but that's exactly what they're looking to uncover right now, and those answers will come out as the case develops. And now let's get to the actual investigation and why David hasn't been arrested yet. Within hours of Celeste being identified, LAPD's Robbery Homicide Division served a search warrant at a Hollywood Hills home where David had been staying. The home located at an upscale neighborhood on Doheny Drive, just north of Sunset Boulevard, Los Angeles. And David actually doesn't own the property, but sources say detectives went in and walked out with computers and electronics. This was the first major sign that the police are actively digging into his world. So right now, there's obviously a connection between David and Celeste. Her mother, of course, confirmed she had a boyfriend named David, and people have pointed out things like the matching tattoos, and there's, of course, a bunch.
Here's what I don't understand, right? If you're a parent and you know your daughter or son is dating someone, like me growing up, when I was dating someone, my parents would want to know who it was, at least to just get to know them, to just know who they were, situations like that. And I've dated plenty of girls whose parents were just like, "Hey, I want to meet your boyfriend or your boyfriend," situationships, who just to see who you're with, to see what kind of and again, I understand, just try to see if your child's not with some psychopath. And that's what I just don't understand, how you can let your child be with this person who's a grown adult, and this is your child, a child. This is unacceptable, man. Oh.
Bunch of photos of them together online that have surfaced, along with a live stream clip. But here's the reality. Investigators are still trying to figure out just how deep that connection goes, and that's the part we don't know yet. On one hand, the Tesla was in fact registered to David, and her body was discovered inside. On the other hand, police sources have said it's one of several vehicles linked to David, and that multiple people had access to those cars at different times. If you don't understand what that means, basically,
yeah, he has multiple people who he pretty much has a squad. He buys all their shit, takes care of his clique. I understand.
Most celebrities don't just, drive their own cars every single day. Their vehicles might be used by friends, family, staff, managers, drivers, or borrowed for errands. So just because the car, the Tesla, was in David's name doesn't automatically prove that he was the one behind the wheel or the one who put Celeste.
Again, as I stated earlier, he might not have killed her. If that's the case, congrats. But why were you in a relationship with a girl who was underage when you were a grown-ass man? It's not good no matter how you look at it.
And that's where caution comes in, because detectives can't just rely on paperwork. They need hard proof. It's not enough to point to the registration. They need forensic evidence and a clear timeline that ties a specific person to that trunk. Without that, an arrest could fall apart in court. And that leads us to where the case stands right now. At the stage, police are retracing Celeste's final days and digging through the devices they seized, because whatever is on those electronics could lay the foundation for where to look next. They're also patiently waiting on forensics to close the gaps, and that's what explains the silence. In order to build a case that holds up in court, every single detail has to line up. So what exactly are investigators zeroing in on? Two critical questions. Number one, the timeline of events. They need to figure out exactly when Celeste died. As of now, they only know it was an extended period of time before discovery, but the precise time of death has not been pinned down yet. Number two, they're trying to establish when her body was placed in the trunk and by whom. That detail alone could make or break the case. And this is what complicates everything. Detectives don't know yet when the exact moment Celeste died was, or the exact moment her body ended up in that Tesla. Until those blanks are filled in, no arrest can stick. So social media has been reacting to the fact that David hasn't been arrested yet, and yeah, there's been a lot of outrage. Some people are even saying that there must be some type of favoritism going on, like is he paying somebody off, to still be out on the streets? But that's not really what's happening. According to the law, he is innocent until proven guilty, okay? And as of right now,
I'll get it. Yes, there's nothing too concrete for it, but I mean, is the relationship that the parents knew their daughter was in with the grown adult, I still think you can get some, not good charges. Because either way, I'm sorry. Wait, well, I'm not sorry. No, either way, I'm not sorry. No, the man shouldn't have been with that child.
We do know that he's been cooperating with the police. Now, that doesn't automatically clear him, because even guilty people can cooperate, but it does help his case if it turns out he wasn't.
Hold on, I'm sorry. I just read this. they stole from a cancer patient and got identified. Oh, we are definitely watching that next.
involved in what
All
happened to
right.
Celeste. Here's the bigger picture. Everything right now comes down to the medical examiner. Once the medical examiner officially rules this as a homicide and determines how Celeste died, then law enforcement can move forward with charges against whoever is responsible. Until then, it's very difficult for police to move on anyone because the case wouldn't hold up in court. And David is of course connected to all this in some way because Celeste was found in a Tesla registered to him. That's the fact tying him into the investigation, but how deep that connection really goes is exactly what detectives are still working to figure out. And that's why this case feels like it's been moving slower than everyone expects. Since we're in the thick of it and everybody knows about it, everything has to be airtight here. But while the medical examiner's office does its work, the LAPD is currently going through the electronics they seized, so iPhones and MacBooks, because the digital trace can establish a timeline, location, communications, and access, and that's the stuff that either confirms or kills a theory. So as of now, all we have to do is just watch how the investigation unfolds. I trust that law enforcement is they're gonna do their thing, right?
I mean, I believe they are. Law enforcement will definitely do their thing. They will definitely go through and get out all the possibilities, all the things that they need to do to understand, the situation, what happened, because it is truly unfortunate that this is even a situation that is going on. But I really, what I just don't understand is there is at least evidence for a grown adult having a relationship with a minor. I mean, did he not state in this video that the parents knew that their daughter was dating, a person named David, who happens to be the David who is the musician, who happens to be a grown ass nigga? Like I mean, I don't know.
The medical examiner's ruling, the forensic evidence from those devices, and the timeline detectives are piecing together right now, those are the keys that'll decide whether David walks free or whether this turns into the biggest case of his entire life. And until those pieces lock into place, he's legally still an innocent man, of course. But none of this stuff changes the heartbreaking fact a 14-year-old girl lost her life and her body was left in the trunk of a car. I'm deeply invested in finding out what happened to Celeste, and I'm sure you are. But more importantly, who carried out this evil act against this little girl. Whoever that person is, they deserve to be held accountable to the fullest extent of the law. So let's make sure we keep our focus in the right place.
They need to be held fully accountable, and may the book be dropped on them.
On getting justice for Celeste and not letting the noise distract us from that. If you made it to the end, drop a like, and like I promised, I got you with every update on this David story. Just stick with me, guys, and you'll find out what exactly is happening. You'll have all the factual stuff, okay? All the factual stuff from me. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe.
All right, man. I expect you to keep me with all the factual information, Black Spakes. All right. I expect you to keep me all the nice up-to-date info, because this absolute is just a sickening scenario. It's never good when you hear a child gets killed, and especially when it seems like it was, my opinion, avoidable. And when I say that, finding out who your daughter is with, is nice. And if I heard something as well, their daughter has been missing. I don't know if this is true or not. Again, don't take this with a grain of salt. This is just what I heard. But I heard that their daughter was missing for over 2 years, right? For at least in the perspective of the parents. So it's just like, if your daughter was missing for that long, why are you just not making a police report about this if it was just that long? And then what the crazy thing about it is, I believe I forgot where I heard this from. I was watching one of these. It was early as fuck before I went to work this morning. But someone, was it her brother who brought it up or actually filed the report? I mean, listen, there's still so much about this case that's crazy. I just hope justice is found, because this is absolutely insane. Make sure you give a like and sub to Blackie Speaks, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Deuces.